Hi, this is Cass from Aussie Cass Plays, and welcome to part 14 of my Medieval Legacy Challenge. As you will have just seen from the little montage that we've opened up with, Jared and Marcy are now married, and he's moved into the Kingler residence with his little daughter, who I have actually aged up. So Jewel is now a child because she's the same age as the oldest two kids from this family. So it made sense to me that she would also be a child. So yeah, they're together and, you know, he's going to be the man of that house now, which is a horrible sexist idea. But, you know, now in the meantime, I played like 2 days in that household and look what's going on now. I played 2 days in that household and when I invited these guys to the wedding so I could get some shots of the wedding, yeah, she's pregnant and in her second trimester. So this will be our fifth and final baby, which is exciting. But I don't remember if last time I recorded I had them try for baby or if I just had them woohoo. I honestly can't remember. It's been, I think, just over a week since I've played this file and I've had a dreadful cold in the meantime. So my brain has turned to mush. Now, we're all home. The little toddlers were not at the wedding. They were left with Widow McNair to look after, but they're both over here playing. We have little Isabella and we have renamed the other kid. Thanks to Cat Kit for the name suggestions. I went with Rose because I thought given her mum is an avid gardener that a flower kind of name seemed appropriate. So there you go. Now, poor Olivia's overarching mood right now is boredom, which I'm assuming is because the wedding ceremony, there was a lot of blah, 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 and a lot of, you know, that kind of thing. And little David has made salad, which is exciting. It's obviously winter. That's the biggest change that we have seen. All of her flowers are out of season now. Pretty much the entire garden, I think, except for the spinach. And I think that's it. I think everything is out of season. Oh no, the pear tree is also in season. Now, I am thinking that I'm going to have Olivia try and source some winter flowers, but we can't buy those here. In the morning, she's planning on going to market. But the other thing, and I think it was Oliver, wants to talk to his parents about, you'll notice he has met Teresa Stroud. After I finished recording the last part, she came past and knocked on the door, and he was the only one awake. Little Oliver had gotten up to go to the bathroom, so he came out here and she was here, and he wants to give his dad a hug and then talk to him about this weird lady that showed up at the door. Now, David's first assumption is that the weird lady, Jared, you just got married. You should not be here, my boy. Go home. Go home. No, go home. You should be spending the night with your lovely wife. He's thinking about rockets, so obviously he has similar line of thought to me. But he's basically talking to his dad, explaining about this weird lady that showed up at the house, and his dad's going to reassure him, you know, oh, I'm sure it was nothing, but definitely don't be letting anyone into the house, you know, don't talk to strangers, giving some kind of good life advice there. So he's like, strangers are really boring. Kid's like, yeah. So I'm not going to do give talking to because I think that's a negative interaction. So he's, you know, telling his son, look, you did the right thing in telling me. Thank you very much. And, you know, basically don't talk to strangers. And the kid's like, sure, okay, no worries, Dad. Oh, why are you sad? Oh, little one, talk to your sister. These guys are coming along quite nicely. I think, talk about trucks. I think that's like horses and carts. These two both have 2s in everything so far. I'm just going to let them talk. I actually want to get these kids squared away so they can go to bed. And then David wants to talk to Olivia about what Oliver told him. So I'm just going to get her to read and I will touch base with you guys once the kids are in bed. You guys. Apparently it's also Zachary's birthday. Oops. I didn't know that. He's going to be so sad now. I'm sorry, buddy. So I'm going to get her, she's just going to go around and tuck in all the kids. And while she's doing that, he's going to explain to her what Oliver told him about the mysterious pale lady who turned up at their door at like 2 a.m. Obviously, she's also really tired. So, yeah, he's explaining to Olivia what Oliver told him. And Olivia's quite concerned about this because she grew up with her dad's stories about vampires because the kingdom they came from, I don't think it was the kingdom of Forgotten Hollow, but think Forgotten Hollow aesthetic. We're talking mountains, pine trees, fog, not a lot of sun. Perfect territory for vampires because, you know, if it's cloudy and foggy and all that kind of thing, then the vampires are less likely to have issues. So she's going to explain her concerns to him. And he's obviously also concerned about this. She's like, you do not understand. He looks deeply shocked. It's like, what? Vampires are real? That's the correct facial expression, my boy. So, yeah, she's explaining how this is actually really concerning. She doesn't obviously know if it's the same vampires or if it's different vampires. She knows her dad had enemies amongst the vampires because there was one in particular that was quite evil and her dad actually killed it, and that was how he was injured. So the injury that resulted in him kind of retiring from working for the king was as a result of combat with a vampire. So she's very worried, and he's like, look, is there anything we can do to deter this creature? And she's like, well, my dad talked about garlic. So she's decided Olivia, they're very comfortable with one another, you guys. She didn't just fart or anything. It's fine. Okay, I'm going to get them to go to bed. But since she was planning on going to town to buy seeds in the morning anyway, because their garden is basically fallow for the entire winter, and this is a family that lives off their farm, and if they have no crops, like no winter crops, they're not going to have any money. They're going to be stuck scrounging off whatever's available out in the world. Like, you know, it's going to get hard. They do have food in storage and they've like preserved a lot of the food that they've grown. So they think they can get through, but they won't be able to pay their taxes. So she's planning on going and buying flowers and stuff. So while she's doing that, I'm going to have her also look at getting some garlic. I don't know if they need vampire lore to be able to make braids. I feel like they might need that. So maybe she'll also go to the library and do a little bit of research. All right, so Olivia has come into market. It's the next day and she's brought little David with her. Interestingly though, oh my God, Olivia, she just farted. It's the king. Quick, get out of the way. Get out of the way. We don't get in the way of the king. Ah! Why he's here, I don't know. So I don't seem to be able to click on the garden bed. I don't know if that's because it's winter. So I might cheat some seed packets, I think, into her inventory. What I'm going to do, she's buying it from the market, but I am going to have her purchase gifts and gardening. And we're going to try, I wanted some winter plants. So seasonal winter plants. Are there any? Okay, so that's it. I'm just going to choose a couple of packets of winter plants. So she's bought them at the market. Imagine this with me. Oh, that explains why the knights were both here, because the kings rocked up. I don't know why. Anyway, so David has come with her because she is heavily pregnant, and Zachary was not keen on her catching the ferry across and going into market and everything, like if she was on her own, because, you know, at least David can run for help and that kind of thing. So I'm going to have him play out here in the snow while she's actually going to go inside and ask some questions. It's unfortunate the king and his knights are here because those are not people we wanted to ask questions of. In fact, they've cleared the entire pub and the poor lady working the bar is like, okie dokie. One thing she can kind of gather from just listening, she might introduce herself to Sir Reginald. He has a better reputation, whereas Sir Leon has a bit of a reputation for being a little bit less friendly to the peasantry. So she's going to talk to him and ask about... Oh no, the king's listening. We don't want to have a conversation where the king's listening. Maybe I can have them form a group. So I'm going to have her form a group with Sir Reginald. And then they're going to come out. Maybe they can go into the church. And and sit together and talk. Now, Leon will naturally assume that if one of his cohort is going off with a woman, that things of a certain nature are about to take place, and he'll probably rib Sir Reginald later about his taste in pregnant women. But, you know, that's not our problem right now. How are you doing, buddy? You're fine. I will have him... I just want to keep him busy, because I don't want him going in the bar. I feel like that's wildly inappropriate. Build another snow pal. There we go. So she's asked if she can have a word with Sir Reginald. She wants to... Oh, he's brought his drink. He's not as holy a knight as she might have hoped. Now, the reason she's taking advantage of this situation to talk to a knight is her dad was a knight, and she wants to ask him about whether he's ever encountered, you know, night-dwelling creatures. Has he heard the word vampire before? Reginald's like, only in stories. You know, we don't have that kind of a problem here. She'll explain that she's from the kingdom that they came from, which I've still not come up with a name for, so if you have a name suggestion, let me know. But they did have vampires there. Oh, look, the priest has shown up. Oh, and David's come in. Obviously, we're praying. So she's explaining her... Oh, honey. She's just dehydrated. It's fine. So she's explaining her, you know, or her family's history of vampires, and Father Scott has inserted himself into this conversation. He's also drunk. What the heck is going on here? Now, he's going to be like, you know, those kind of unholy creatures, there are stories about them in our holy books and stuff. You know, they haven't been a problem here. He will confirm that the books and the stories say, yes, garlic is a thing. Now, she didn't actually want to have this conversation in front of David. Thankfully, he has gone back outside again. I don't know why he came in the first place. So, yeah, she's explaining the situation. Sir Reginald is assuring her that, you know, of course we don't have vampires here, but I think it's more of a denial situation, like he doesn't want there to be vampires. So I think she knows that. She's hoping he'll go back and raise awareness of the issue, but she wants to try and get hold of a book on vampires. Now, I was going to have her go to the library, but she's pretty shattered, so I'm going to have her ask Father Scott if he has any information that she could, like, you know, she wants to learn more, basically. Now, I want to have her ask for something he might actually say no to, because that will tell us whether or not he will give her access to a book on vampiric lore, and then I'll have her buy it when she gets home, if he says yes. I mean, ask for money, I guess. It's kind of like asking for money, and books are, like, rare. So we'll see. If he says no, then he's not willing to give her any of the church's holy books. If he gives her any money, which he did, 3 simoleons, then, oh, honey, you need to pee. She's like, cool, thanks, see you, bye, and then runs out the door because she's busting. Come on. Come on. I don't want you to wet yourself. I think it's almost inevitable at this point. Come on. Go. Go, 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 go. Don't worry about flushing it, just use it. You don't have time. In the meantime, little David over here is, like, gone to look for his mum. Let's check out his little snow pals. What did he make? We have this little guy. Very cute, traditional little snow pal. And, oh, I like this. I don't know where he got all the hats and gloves and stuff from, honestly, and the wooden spoon and stuff. Just because it's not like they have a vast quantity of that kind of thing to spare, honestly. If they had more warm clothes, they'd be wearing them. So I'm going to have her and her son travel home. They're going to catch the ferry back to the island. And then when they get home, I'm going to have her purchase a book on vampire lore. All right, the family has come home. David was, of course, out here grilling, because that is what my Sims are always doing when I load up this lot. Little Oliver's out here looking after the cricket farm, because obviously it's particularly important for them at the moment that they actually keep these things alive, because they're actually an ongoing winter-based food source, as disgusting as that is. David is just had to go to the bathroom, obviously, so he's going to come out here. Zachary's crafted a really simple planter box, so he's going to come out here and plant the garlic. Now, can I get you to go to the bathroom? And then I'm going to put those in the fridge, And we'll get some leftovers. Oh, Rose can now talk. Good work, honey. So, poor Olivia, in the most awkward pose ever. She's holding this book very far away from herself because she clearly does not want to be contaminated by the knowledge that is contained within it. She's learning some vampire lore. Now, the problem I think we're going to have is I don't think David's actually going to be able to plant anything. The power got shut off. I mean, I say power. We don't have a lot of things that require power. How much are the bills? $659, and we have to pay taxes tomorrow. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we've got a bit of a problem here. We have a serious cash flow issue. Now, obviously, the Royal Court will expect people to be earning less in winter. I can get him to plant these here. Oh. How can he not? Is this not sheltered? But that is. It seems weird to me that he can plant one and not the other. Yeah, I bought winter crops that we can't plant. I think the only way we're going to be able to plant them is if I do them under the tree line. Don't put the vampire book away. Oh, she's put it in her chest, not in the bookshelf. That's good. I don't want the kids reading it. She's trying really hard to protect the children, which, you know, you could argue whether or not that's a good idea, but it's a thing. It's happening. I'm going to play a little bit off screen. I'm actually just going to wait for Olivia to go into labour because I do expect that she will sometime fairly soon because she is in her 3rd trimester. So Olivia has woken up in labour, basically. She got up, got in the bath and then went into labour. So I don't know what that's all about. The problem that they've got, who's that? I don't know who that is. Some random sim that I have in the save file, it's fine. He's dressed appropriately. I was wondering if it was one of the smallies. The problem we've got is it's been snowing all night and we're going to imagine mounds of snow. I know that's not how the Sims works, but they are basically snowed in. So we can't go and get Delilah like we have for every other birth. She's going to have to do this one on her own. So she's just going to try and eat something, and then I might have her go in and wake Zachary up, break the bad news, and be like, honey, guess what? You get to be midwife. Oh no, taxes are due and we have no money. He's like, oh my God. So he's going to have his little freak out. Or not. He's just like, yep, cool. No, I've got this. Oh no, there he goes. It's like, stay calm, everybody, stay calm. And David's like, why should I stay calm, Dad? What's going on? Nothing, it's all fine. So Olivia's going to have her baby. Zachary will help. And David's and Oliver's job is basically to keep the girls out of the way. Because obviously the sight of Mummy screaming and making a big mess everywhere is a little traumatizing for all the kids. So if and when they wake up, I'm going to have them... I can't afford to replace it. I'm going to have him basically keep the kids outside. So, yeah, I'm not going to have her go early. I will have to have her get changed, though. The biggest problem I'm finding is because this house is so cold, I'm constantly having to tell the Sims to put clothes on because they'll quite happily wander around. And then I'll start getting freeze to death messages, which is not really what you want from your Sims. Like, this dude, he's running around with no shirt on. It's like, your nipples would be freezing off, my friend. All right, I'm gonna just have him also get dressed because the last thing we need is for Zachary or anyone else to freeze. That would be a disaster. Right, it's happening. We're having our last baby. Thank you very much, Cat Kit, for all of those name suggestions, because turns out we needed 2 at once. What's Zachary doing? He's repairing the sink. Oh, honey, come in, quick. I'd say he's going to miss the birth of his daughter. We had a little girl. 3 girls, 2 boys. That's a nice... I mean, with 5 kids, you're never going to have a perfect balance, are you? Now, I'm thinking we're going to use Cat Kit's suggestion of Andrea. So our youngest child is Andrea Graham. All right. Good work. You did it, Olivia. You did it. And you never have to do it again. I'm going to get her to quickly breastfeed the baby, put the onesie on it, and then she's going to have to go pee. Because, you know, So once Zachary's finished repairing the sink, I'll have him come in and look after the baby. I'm actually going to leave this part here. We've got a few different things kind of to be going on with, I guess, in that we need to get the toddlers to have threes and everything before they're ready to age up. We've got, how long is it until birthdays? We've got 2 days. That's Andrea's birthday. Then the twins' birthday is on the Tuesday. And then David's birthday is on Friday. So we've got a few birthdays in the next week. And obviously we have to pay taxes. Now we've got 500 simoleons. I'm thinking we'll pay 200. I know we've paid like thousands before, but obviously this is not the time of year for it. The other thing I really want to have them get some money together for, so I'm probably going to have David have some sales, and we'll try and offload some frogs and fossils and stuff, is I'm going to try and get them a fireplace, because I've got 2-week seasons. So they've made it through 1 week of winter, but they are freezing all the time. So, and I know that the kids are going to be really nervous about the fireplace given what happened with Simon, but I think it has to happen, because the alternative is that they freeze to death in their sleep. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't know if I have any fireplaces that would look even remotely appropriate, but it's going to require changes to the house. So I need to get some money together. Anyway, it's fine. I'm going to leave this part here with our newest little member of the household. We've had all 5 kids now. So from here, once the kids get to be teenagers, they're supposed to work on their gardening skill. These two are having a snowball fight, by the way. I sent them outside to keep them out of the way. Yeah, once the heir is the one with the highest gardening skill. I don't know at what point you decide that. Is it when they become a young adult? Problem is that favours the eldest, obviously. If you guys have any opinions on who should be the heir, by the way, I'm happy to hear them. You should let me know. Is that? I don't know who that was. Jared's had a change of outfits and stuff, by the way. Now he's moved in with the Kinglers. Because they're a lot more well-off than the family he comes from. So he's got access to a bigger wardrobe, but it looked like Jared. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. So, yeah, we need to have the kids work on their gardening skill. Also, their cooking and mixology skills. So the heir needs to work on cooking and mixology, which means I either need to pick an heir or have them all do it. So, I don't know. I'm happy to go either way. Let me know what you guys think of how we should handle it. And in the meantime, if you've enjoyed, please like and subscribe. You know the drill. Don't forget to wash your hands, and I will catch you next time. Thanks for watching.